We're back in DayZ and we're on Xbox and we are talking, well, 1.08, which would be the next update in the game. Now, I don't have a magical date of when 1.08 is going to arrive, and I don't know exactly what it's going to bring. We're going to kind of talk about the situation around it, what's going on with 1.08 and the development team at this current point. So obviously, at the beginning of the year 2020, they kind of put out an announcement for their, roadmap that they were working on and everything like that. And they also noted that the development team would be kind of shrinking, or just kind of getting limited to a degree because they're moving more and more away from the development of the game. So that means longer dev cycles and less kind of content overall being released for the game. So that's just, that's what's happening in that situation. So they have been sending out some tweets and updates. Too bad we can't go in there. It looks really cool. So yeah, they have been mentioning that they are working and they are developing on things. You gotta also remember, with the whole virus global situation going on right now, that development on many games and franchises has been delayed as everybody shifts to an at-home workforce. So I mean, the DayZ content already takes ages to be worked on and released. So yeah, it's probably going to be quite a long time until we see the release of 1.08 in the future. And I think even when we do get it, it's not necessarily going to be some expansive update. I don't know if people are expecting that, but I really see this as being more of like a bug fix update with maybe a couple new guns, some bug fixes, introductions of new bugs like they always seem to do, and maybe a couple new items to play with. I don't see this being some grand scale upgrade for the game, at least not initially, but who knows, maybe they're working on things, like we've talked about, like the bow and arrow, we've talked about broken bones and stuff like that. We've kind of gone over a little bit of what they've teased. A lot of what they're apparently working on is stability updates, and that's what I kind of see. I never noticed this blurry here. This is a little clever spot to hide. Yeah, I don't see this being some exciting grand update. I see this being more of a stability and an update fix for various things, especially the food meter for the game, because that one, yeah, food's a problem in the vanilla version of the game, which I don't think quite as many people are playing nowadays. It seems like most have shifted over to, is that a hole in the fence? I don't know if that is. This kind of looks weird. Most have shifted over to the modded servers. I know I have, because it's just a lot easier for what I'm doing video-wise, but yeah, it seems like vanilla DayZ isn't nearly as popular. You're definitely seeing like servers and stuff being shut down over time. That's just, what's going on with it, right? And with that, I think they're really going to start winding down on the content releases for the game. Now, if I had to put a guess out, because I mean, they don't even have a testing server out yet, I would say maybe in August we'll get the update, which sounds like a long time away, but I'm trying to give people like a realistic timeline. I mean, they used to be a little bit better for releases, but it still takes a few months. They have been working, like I think last update was like, what, December or something like that, actual game update. So this could be like about double that time in August. I'd say optimistically we might be able to see one in early July if we're lucky, like the big update. But I'm putting August as a safer bet for the release on this one. Just, in terms of the fact that we haven't seen them, release like, test servers and stuff like that, the normal kind of phased out testing. And I'm doing this from like a console perspective of when the full version's going to come out. And I mean, I might be wrong there, but just kind of going off of what I've heard, they have been largely radio silent. I use their Twitter in combination with the forums and some Reddit stuff to kind of get a gist of what they're doing with new content, and you don't really hear anything. Well, I'm hearing gunshots, but you know what I mean? Like, they haven't released a lot of information recently. It's been a very, very quiet sort of situation around the information for the game. And that's a little bit disappointing because they were saying that they were going to be a bit more transparent in regards to the content that we were going to be hearing about in the game. I'd also love to hear, what you guys are hoping we get to see down the line. I mean, try to keep your expectations in check, because that's mostly what I'm trying to get across here. But I think, it is still kind of cool to, like, wish and think ahead of, like, what we might get down the road, which would be cool. And it's obviously we're not going to hit the grand vision, like, content-wise the beta had. Can we actually go? Yeah, we can't go through that window. Because I know a lot of people, they look back at, like, was it called beta? It was when it released in early access before they, like, revamped everything. There was a lot of, features we still haven't gotten basically, like, a decade later. So I'm going to assume some of those are just not coming to the game. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe someday they'll add new content. Maybe they'll do a new DLC. Because I had assumed, it sounded like Livonia was doing quite well for them, so I was kind of hoping that that would justify and fuel future development. So maybe they're working on that in the background, another DLC map. Who knows? They did shutter their it's not really a battle royale, the Survivors Game Z or whatever that was. I never even got to play it because I could never, like, connect to people when I was in the test thing and all that. Real shame, because I wanted to give it a whirl. But yeah, I'm just kind of, like, a little bit disappointed I never got to kind of see what that was like, and they shuttered that, so obviously there wasn't enough demand around it, or they were not able to test features like they wanted to. And I think that's a little bit disappointing, because, I was hoping for, it sounded for a while there, that they were expanding the content of the series, and not lowering it. Wow, I got shot. I thought he was shooting the other guy, or did it lag and hit me? Did I get shot somewhere else? That was weird. So these are kind of the main things that they're supposed to be working on this year. Bug fixes, or bug fixing, all the bugs. They're wanting to fix issues tied to vehicle handling, physics, simulation in the game, and they're looking at options to tackle those. And I mean, these are going to sound very familiar if you watched my update video thing in the beginning of the year. But I wanted to do a video because I keep hearing people ask about DayZ and stuff, and I want to give something that might, kind of get people interested in DayZ content and stuff like that. Because there really is not as much interest. Oh, jeez. Guess there isn't. Those guys shooting me. Yeah. So they're going to look at base building more, improvements to base building, the impact on the environment on characters, so they want to change that again. Every update they seem to, like, wildly adjust food and water, so I'm assuming that's kind of what they're talking about. Maybe also, like, wind and cold. I'm assuming they're going to add some update that's not really fine-tuned, where we're just going to, like, basically die to, like, the environment, if that makes sense. Like, I bet the cold's just going to be, like, killing us, and we're going to have to make fires or something ridiculous. It's just going to be a very tedious kind of update. I mean, I see that happening. I don't know if other people do, but definitely seeing that being the case. Oh, wow, they added an orange? That's cool. This orange, I like that. Oh, awesome. See, even the modders are doing, like, a better job adding content to this game. Even the modders. Oh, wow, a jack-o'-lantern. Oh, the face? What? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, yeah, there are also quality of life improvements for cooking. For example, implementing direct cooking slots, grill, and adjusting lifetime in different fireplace stages, and more. And they want to do balancing of the surrounding diseases and their symptoms to make sure they're better balanced, utilized, and perhaps even expand them a bit. So yeah, more diseases and death. This is so cool. Look at that thing. Can I, like, equip this? Nobody cared who I was until I put on the jack-o'-lantern head. Why is everybody shooting away? Can't we all just get along? I know I'm ready to play and fight. And then they're teasing new content. They intend to add more original and or new firearms, implement broken body parts, legs in particular, and wrecked vehicles. They want to add them to Chinaris. But that's really all there is. Oh, I guess 1.07 came out in February. So yeah, that August time is looking sounding more and more correct. Oh wow, that's a pretty cool looking KZ. That's nice. Oh, not enough guns out here, eh? Wait, do I have 2 KZ? Oh, I didn't have the bullet chambered. I thought it was chambered. No! No! How could this happen to me? But yeah, that's kind of the gist of where the game is at for 1.08 on the horizon. It's kind of asking like what's going on with it, where's it going, and I hope this kind of helped you give, you know, more context in regards to managing expectations, managing, like, you know, your anticipation for it, because I'm guessing this is the big thing that people are kind of like really looking forward to, is the fact that you know, this new update's coming with some new content, because that seems to be the big thing that people always come here to check out, is new information and a new review. And obviously you can expect to see a review of 1.08 when it arrives, and full information on the features in a new features video just prior ahead of time. But other than that, I think DayZ content's maybe winding down quite a bit. I hope you guys are enjoying, you know, what I've had, because I've done a lot of DayZ content. Maybe we'll do some more streams. I don't know what the interest is and everything like that on them, but yeah, it's kind of raining on the parade, like all of these crazy crashed helicopters in this wasteland modding paradise that has arisen. Because I mean, that's kind of what people are checking out these days, at least what I've noticed. But if you're still playing the vanilla version, I'd love to hear about your journeys and your adventures, because that's interesting.